It has now been 3 days since Ebola was diagnosed for the first time on American soil. Let me give you an update of what's going on at this hour. The apartment in Dallas, where Ebola patient Thomas Eric Duncan first became symptomatic, has still not been sanitized. This commercial cleaning crew contracted to do the job was turned away for not having the proper permits. The CDC director tells CNN they are still working on it. Still, 4 people are quarantined inside that apartment still. The Dallas County Health and Human Services Director tells us that the Ebola situation there is, quote, under control. He says the family with whom Duncan was staying is being monitored. He says there's no outbreak, so everyone should just ease their fears.
Well, meantime, another American, a freelance journalist working to cover the crisis for NBC in Liberia, has tested positive for Ebola. Ashaka Mukpo will return to the U.S. for treatment aboard a private chartered plane on Sunday. The 33-year-old was hired by NBC News as a freelance worker on Tuesday. Apparently, he started showing symptoms on Wednesday while working with Dr. Nancy Snyderman, NBC's chief medical editor. Now, she and her team are being flown home. They will quarantine themselves for the 21 days, which we know is the maximum of the incubation period for Ebola. As his girlfriend, her son, and her 2 nephews remain in quarantine in the apartment where Thomas Eric Duncan first fell ill, health officials in Dallas are still trying to reach out to as many as 100 people who may have come in contact with that Dallas patient.
Joining us to talk about this, Dr. Jorge Rodriguez, an internist who's led all kinds of clinical trials. Also with us, Professor Arthur Kaplan, Director of the Division of Medical Ethics at NYU's Langone Medical Center. And Dr. Jorge Rodriguez, let me ask you this. You know, you were on with us before talking about processes, how to handle this type of situation. Well, now we know that 3 sheriff's deputies in Dallas are on leave as a precaution because they went inside that apartment where those 4 people are quarantined. There are those 4 people who are quarantined. Does this look like a good process to you so far?
No, not at all. The way I look at it, there are 4 things that we need to look at, with this epidemic. One is treatment and cure, and the other one is prevention and containment. I think this country really needs to focus on establishing set policy for containment and for prevention. The way I look at it, and if it isn't being done already, someone, either with the Department of Homeland Security or the CDC, needs to state and create policies that says, look, when someone's infected, this is who's going to take care of the person. This is how they're going to be quarantined. This is who's going to come in. This is who's going to feed them. Something very clear, actually, that is quite honestly proof, almost dummy proof, so that everyone knows what the game plan is. That's what I think we should be working on right now.
Speaking of game plan and process, I want to turn to this patient, Duncan, who we know had his temperature taken in Africa. We also know he was given a questionnaire to fill out, and apparently we're being told from Liberian officials that he answered no to the question about whether he'd come in contact with anybody with Ebola or exposed to the virus at all. And now we hear word that Liberian officials are talking about prosecuting him. And I want to ask you, on an ethical basis here, is it appropriate to prosecute someone? Is it vilifying the victim, or is this the right course of action when you consider the chain of events that could potentially
It's the right course of action, because the only value of questions and screens is if you think you're going to get in trouble if you don't tell the truth. So you do have to threaten. Are they actually going to prosecute him and throw him in jail for this? I doubt it. But I think what they're saying right now is, hey, we might. You better start answering us honestly. Do I think the screening is aggressive enough? No. I've been in airports just yesterday, didn't see any signs up anywhere, didn't see anything that said if someone next to you seems very sick, throws up, you do what? I agree with what we just heard. We still, this far into the Ebola outbreak, don't have a standard set of procedures to say, if you're traveling and you see someone who's ill and you think, do this. If you have flu symptoms, we're starting flu season, don't worry, unless you've been near somebody with Ebola, it's not that disease, but I think we're going to get a lot of panic. We need that. We got to do better.
You're an expert on medical ethics. Let's stick on medical ethics. Is it ethical what's being done now with these 4 people shut in that apartment in Dallas? What do you think?
So I think the ethics of quarantine, I'm going to say yes. And the reason is it's the state of Texas who controls diseases inside the state. It's the CDC who does it between states or at the borders. The state has the authority, no doubt about it, to say you have a deadly infectious disease, we're going to hold you,
or
you can't come out.
Get it.
Or we're worried you might get it. What they haven't done, we heard a little about this in the news, They didn't set up a way to clean that place. They haven't set up a way to dispose of anything that was in there, blankets or things that he may have slept on. Who's giving the food? They're going to give him some videos. I mean, they're being locked up for our sakes, not just for their sakes.
That's a good
so
point.
you got to kind of help them go through it. 21 days with two 20-year-olds and a kid in there, I believe. You want to help out a little bit. And who's protecting their job?
Yeah.
Who's paying the bills?
Yep.
You got to really.
There's real aspects there
There's
to
real
think
aspects
about.
here that
There
you
really
got to
are.
take seriously. It's not just padlock the door and run away.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues there, a lot of threads to this story. Professor Kaplan, good to have you with us, and Dr. Jorge joining us from Los Angeles. Gentlemen, thanks so much.